Today, Laurie, we have another Macallan on the channel, but not anything like we've had before.
I'm going to say your challenge with this video, Ross. You're not allowed to use the phrase classic Macallan
Okay.
at any point.
I think the good thing
If
is...
you do, you owe me £5.
I think the good thing is, this doesn't look like it'll be a, as you said.
Okay.
This is a Samaroli bottling, distilled in 1990. So actually one of the newer ones we've opened, bottled in 2001. It's quite pale looking. It's not very familiar with the typical style we'd expect from the distillery.
You nearly did it.
What do you think?
Yeah, I think it'll be good. I think it's nice to try Macallan without, not sherry casks aren't a gimmick, but it's nice to try it just in American oak. Because then you get that distillery character. Macallan isn't just all about sherry casks. They have their 6 pillars. One of them is, the finest cuts and the curiously small stills, and that will all give a really unique character.
And actually, probably my favourite thing about Macallan comes from the stills. It's the texture, and I hope that still remains in what looks like an American oak example. We don't see it independently bottled all that often, and we do. A lot of people are not allowed to name it.
Well, casks are bloody expensive, I imagine.
But I've had a couple of expressions from S&WS, for example, that have also been American oak that I've found to be quite pleasant, quite honeyed. So I'm hoping this will be a similar example.
Yeah, I suppose they had their Fine Oak series and the Triple Cask, as it was renamed, which uses a lot of American oak. So, you can get Macallan that isn't dominated by sherry. So this could be good.
Yeah, and if people don't know Macallan, it's a classic Speyside.
Have you been living?
I know. It is a classic Speyside. They have 36 stills at the distillery, which is a bit of a monster. The new distillery is like stepping into the TARDIS. It really is.
It's like stepping into an airport terminal, I find.
It's all automated. It's very futuristic. But they're able to, their archive stock and some crazy whiskies and some crazy prices as well.
Yeah, so this, as we said, distilled at Macallan Distillery and bottled by Samaroli under their, I guess, Coilteen sort of sub-brand.
I'm not sure I could pronounce it.
No, I'm not sure if I did either. But it's, Samaroli has an amazing reputation for bottling fantastic whiskies. Obviously Italian, imported a lot to Italy, where generally they like whiskey that's quite light and approachable and summery, so like Glen Grant, for example, very popular. So this, I'm hoping it'll be very good. I think we've had a mixed experience with Samaroli bottlings, ones we've had before. So, should we crack open and see
let's do it.
If this is a winner or a loser?
Let's do it. Get rid of let's have a look. So, these old corks have been quite temperamental, so we'll see how we get on with this today. Could be off to a better start, because it's not opening that easily. I don't really have the nails for it. Here we go. Crisp. It is crisp.
Crunchy capsule.
Okay. So Unsteady wins the race here.
Good work.
It's not in the best nick, but it's come out in one, which is good. It's put me in a better mood already.
Yeah. Bodes well. Your experience of Macallan in American oak, is it something you've enjoyed the texture of it? You enjoy it because it's a bit different?
So it has remained to be quite full-bodied. I'm going to leave that out of it just now, just because I might need to put a replacement cork in.
Wet and wrinkly, isn't it? Yeah.
But lots of honeyed character, and again, with that more viscous texture, I think it's something that I really have enjoyed. It's just not something you see very often. The nose.
It's not giving a huge amount away for me.
It's quite floral. It's not what I expected, but definitely kind of citrus and floral. Very light and approachable, but actually there's still enough there to make it really interesting for me.
I suppose it's not a particularly old whiskey. Is it 10, maybe 11 years old?
Yeah, 10 or 11 years old, so,
And it has picked up, some colour, so, the casks aren't unlikely to be third or fourth fill.
As you say, I think it's probably good if we just judge this as a whiskey in isolation and almost forget the distillery, because
it has got that slight dustiness you can get with sort of older bottlings, which I quite enjoy.
I really like that.
Yeah, it's got a lot to it.
Yeah, it does. It's much fruitier on the palate. It's definitely American oak.
Yeah. Really coats the palate, actually.
Yeah.
It's got a really, really
Which is
mouthfeel.
really the only thing I asked for it to deliver. But really nice. Something genuinely different. But still falls into that kind of fresh, light Speyside style that we believe has been so popular and so successful in the Italian market.
Yeah, lovely finish as well.
Yeah.
I think sometimes whiskies, they've been matured in this way of this sort of age, the finish can dissipate and it's a bit of a non-event. But this, really, not punchy. It's not, it's not monstrous, it's not rough, but it's kind of flavourful, but also elegant as well.
I think going back to the nose now, it does have some really soft vanillas in the background.
Yeah, I think you can
taste I think that's delicious.
The weight of the spirit, I think, which, as we said, comes from the small stills, so the spirit is going to be quite oily and quite heavy, quite viscous, as you say. Really pleasant.
Really nice. There's a little bit of wood and oakiness towards the back. Maybe that's that kind of dustiness that again you see you associate with some of these older bottlings, but I really like the palate. It's very bourbon forward, but it's not fresh. It's more it is sweet. It is a sweet Speyside. It's not quite as, it's not like a bourbon where it's a punch in the face of vanilla. There's definitely some of those kind of honey and very subtle kind of tablet notes as well on the palate.
Like it works at the strength as well. Like I don't feel, lovely as it is, doesn't need water. It doesn't feel like it's been watered down too much either. I think at full cast strength of 58, 60%, whatever, might be a bit rough around the edges. This is beautifully
It's an easy sipper. And I can imagine it. I mean, I don't know how, it's hard to kind of anticipate how premium a malt Macallan would have been at the early 2000s in Italy. I imagine this could have been fairly reasonably priced. We know how crazy they go in the secondary market nowadays. I think I've seen on Bevvy, this is anywhere between kind of £500 and £1,000 in the secondary market. So it's quite interesting for us to open it. A lot of people might be like, "What are you doing?" But
I think for die-hard Macallan collectors and enthusiasts, this probably isn't going to be something they're drawn towards.
No.
Even if they are familiar with Samaroli and the value that he gives to bottlings, it's not. No, I nearly said.
No, it's not.
Said the phrase, but it's not. A typical expression of.
I'm with you, and I'm really glad it isn't.
Yeah.
Because I think it's a delightful expression by itself.
Yeah.
And what a pleasure to try it.
Yeah, really impressed by that. I think. Yeah, it's always nice to try a distillery in a slightly different form. I think people who are watching this who have had, American oak influenced Macallan, it'd be great to hear what they think to see how it compares to the sherry forward style.
If anybody's had the opportunity to try it, because it is quite unusual, let us know what you think. Let us know if you like it. Some people, dare I say, that I might even prefer.
There's not much to like.
It's such a pleasant whiskey that I could go back to again and again and again. Whereas sometimes nowadays modern Macallan can be so heavy and rich that maybe you'd only have one. So it's maybe a different mood. It's a summer, expression from the distillery. Done really well, not to say.
Yeah, you've done it all the way through. Well done. Yeah,
but
cheers
what a pleasure to try it.
Congratulations.
Cheers. I'm really impressed.
If you've enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe for more Bevvy content. We want to hear what you think, your best whiskey experiences, the whiskies you want to try. It's a really exciting journey we're on, so make sure to join us. Download the Bevvy app on Google Play and App Store to keep track of your whiskey journey, connect with your whiskey friends, keep track of your favourites, anything you could ever want to do with whiskey, all in one place. It's the definitive whiskey companion.